It's SummerSlam and the power of the WWE is in the balance as Cody Rhodes is defending the Undisputed Championship against Solo Sikoa, and in typical Bloodline fashion, it's completely out of control. Cody has to deal with all of the interruptions, all of the cheap shots, and there's seemingly no hope. The referee is distracted with Tongaloa, and Jacob Fatu drops Cody, and Solo is screaming at Cody now to get to his feet. Reigns is back, and he's breathing fire. He runs through both Tongaloa and Tama Tonga. Solo is furious, and he's screaming at Jacob Fatu as well. He wants him to go after Reigns, but he doesn't. Reigns is now nose to nose with Fatu. Solo is trying to get him to do something, but as they stare down, Cody takes his chance, and he hits him with the trio of Crossroads. Cody Rhodes retains the championship. It's unbelievable because it's at the assist of the very man he took it from. And Roman leaves after dropping a bombshell on his family, and it really feels like he's declared war. But it's Solo and the Bloodline who are on the war path on Smackdown after SummerSlam. They destroy the entire arena. Security is laid out, superstars are laid out, and the ringside area is absolutely trashed. And standing in the middle of the tornado is Solo, who can only hear "We Want Roman" chants, which makes him blinded with rage, and he says, after what he did, Roman better not come back. He wouldn't dare come face to face with the real tribal chief after what he did. Solo and the Rogue Bloodline stand defiant because Roman doesn't show, but someone else does. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and I'm here representing the real tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Solo, the real tribal chief, will be here when he wants to be here, because he doesn't answer to you. You answer to him. And Solo, who is wearing the Ulafala, says, "This around my neck says otherwise." And wise man, you tell him that if he wants it, he needs to come and take it. As for you, we might just take your head as a prize like we took this. Heyman, clearly threatened, scurries out of the arena as quickly as he can. But it does leave the question, when and where will the tribal chief next show up? Well, his special counsel likely knows the answer, but it's another answer he's looking for after he approaches Cody Rhodes cautiously the week after. Mr. Rhodes, I come in peace, and I come seeking your counsel. So if I may have a moment of your time, as you would have seen, my tribal chief, despite the history between you, was there in your time of need, and I stress this, I am asking for your help. Well, I'm going to stop you there, Paul. I understand you've lost control, but part of me thinks that you deserve it. So you tell Roman that I do appreciate what he did, but we all know he didn't do it for me. But you can also tell him that if down the road he wants to run it back, then you come and seek my counsel. He knows where to find me, but for now, you're going to have to find other people to help. Roman has a big and more than capable family. Trust me, I've seen it. So maybe start there. Solo's Bloodline is running roughshod again! They've trashed the whole arena, even smashing every panel of the Tron. They're absolutely out of control, and they have stopped the show, and they are demanding that Roman Reigns show up, but not only show up, Solo wants a match. This is how the real tribal chief leads. We take what we want when we want. Roman only shows up when it suits him. I've been here the whole time. I've been picking up his slack, I've been helping him succeed, and now it's my turn. Which is why we need to fix this. Bash in Berlin. But as he's speaking, Heyman arrives again and says, Solo, I spent months after WrestleMania warning people to stay away from you and this group of thugs you call the Bloodline. But now, I have a warning for you, and I only do this courtesy because you are family. You do not want what you think you want. You need to be careful what you wish for. You do not want the wrath of the tribal chief. But as Heyman is talking, Tama Tonga sneaks up behind him and snatches him up. And now Heyman is panicking. And Solo says, "You've got it all twisted, Paul. You say I don't want the wrath of the tribal chief. Well, how can that be when I am the true tribal chief? Roman doesn't care about you. Roman doesn't care about any of us. That's why he's run away again. So now we have no choice but to send him another message until he shows up. Tama, put him down." Reigns is back on Smackdown, and he's here for all of their heads. And he takes it to Tama Tonga. He lays him out on the outside. Tonga Loa attacks him with a sledgehammer, but that's no use either. Reigns is on the warpath, and he has a message for Fatu and Solo. "You think you're the real tribal chief, huh, Solo? You want a match? Got it. You and Jacob show up in Berlin, and let's find out." Roman is back on Smackdown to handle family business. But there is 4 of them and 1 of him. And he's challenged 2 of them to a fight at Bash in Berlin. So who will Roman call on to stand beside him? But more importantly, after everything he's done, who would even want to? Well, as he arrives along with his opponents, no one does stand by his side. He's going to be left 2-on-1. And while Roman is defiant, the task would be almost impossible to tackle alone. But he doesn't have to. Jimmy looks at Roman. There's still clearly a strain on the relationship. But now they have a common enemy, and the battle is on. Jimmy is out for revenge alongside someone who he clearly sees as his tribal chief. And he wants to take the lead and get his hands on his brother first. It's fiery, and they're throwing bombs at each other, to the point where both men are down, looking for the tag. And they both get it, which brings a huge face-off between 2 forces of nature. Reigns and Fatu, the crowd going ballistic. They want to see it go down. And then they start throwing. The whole place is on its feet. It's a confrontation people have been begging for. And Fatu looks for the killer blow, but Reigns avoids it, and he hits the ropes and drills him with a spear. He makes the cover, but the referee can't make the count because Reigns gets showered in weapons. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa come out, rush the ring, and tear the match apart. The crowd absolutely disgusted that the return of Roman Reigns is cut short. But this version of the Bloodline doesn't care. All they want is destruction. And while Roman is being double-teamed by Fatu and Solo, Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga just pick up where they left off with Jimmy and smash him through the announce table. A terrified Paul Heyman looks on. And even though the tribal chief is back, it's not making enough of a difference. They need backup, and they need it fast. Last night proves that this bloodline is stronger than what people are calling the OG bloodline. At least, what's left of it. You know, it's funny, Roman's creation has become his destroyer. So I want to finish the job. Roman Reigns, you want to be the good guy now, huh? Fine. We want to drain the bad blood from the bloodline anyway. So let's finish it. Bloodline Rules in Atlanta. Paul Heyman is watching backstage with Jimmy, who is still smarting from the wild beatdown at Bash in Berlin, and Heyman once again reiterates that they are gonna need more help. And Jimmy says, I know what you're talking about, Oos. And listen, wise man, I haven't spoken to him in a long time. It's not easy. Paul understands, but he pleads with Jimmy and says, please, we need you to reach out. We need to do something. You know Roman is going to accept the Bloodline Rules match, and that, we know, is going to be 4-on-2. They're animals, Jimmy. Please. Jimmy, knowing the gravity of the situation, says to Heyman that he's going to chance his arm and head to Raw. I've got a number one contenders match to try and get back my Intercontinental Championship tonight, so I'll leave you two to it. It seems like this is a family thing anyway, and we know how that goes, so... And Jay says, Sammy, wait! I'll catch up with you. Oos! Jimmy, what is it, man? Actually, you know what? Don't even say it. I know what it is. You want me to come back and fight the Bloodline, which is the real reason I left. And Jimmy concedes and says, of course. We're brothers, Oos. They're out of control, and you know damn well that Solo wearing that around his neck is disrespectful to our family. Don't do it for me. Don't do it for him. Do it for the family. Do it for Sika. Before Jay can answer, we quickly cut to Sami Zayn making his entrance, and he gets blindsided by Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. The Bloodline has invaded Raw now, and Jay and Jimmy try to take off to make the save, but as they run out to the arena, they're stopped by Fatu and Sikoa. It's been a long time, but the Usos are actually working together, and it's all happened so fast that they don't even realize. But another reason they don't realize is because the numbers once again win out, and Sammy doesn't make it to his match and loses his chance to get back his championship. Jimmy and Jay are dismantled as well, and this version of the Bloodline paints the red brand with blood. No one on any brand is safe if you've had anything to do with Roman Reigns and his Bloodline. If you're not with them, you're against them. And Solo, while again wearing the Ulafala, shows up on Smackdown and he reiterates the challenge he's already laid down to Reigns. We are tired of waiting. This is the last time I'm gonna say it. Bloodline Rules at Bad Blood in Atlanta. Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu. Solo seems surprised. You can tell that this was not part of the plan. But as is the nature of this Bloodline, they just do what they want. They aren't as connected as a unit, and it's created a lot of tension between Solo and Fatu. But that tension is broken by getting the very answer that they want, but not verbally. It's physical. Jimmy and Roman drag Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga out of the ring, and they lay both of them out with chairs, and they slide in the ring to get after Fatu and Sikoa. But Solo slides out of the ring to retreat, and he actually leaves Jacob Fatu to be double teamed, and he gets put down by Roman and Jimmy. And then they start talking trash to Solo. But what they didn't realize is the damage they thought they did was nowhere near enough, because Fatu is still up, and then Jimmy is dragged out of the ring by Solo, and they're going toe to toe. Roman is in there with Fatu. He runs at Roman looking for the super kick, but Roman reverses, and then he fires off and spears Fatu. And on the outside, Jimmy has run off Solo, who is backing up from the fight. It's a statement. It's a warning shot that even though there is the outnumber, it won't stop them. And Roman, who has been a man of few words, looks at Fatu and says, "You want to drain the bad blood from the Bloodline? Then you should start with Solo. I gave him the very platform that he brought you into. And now he wears the Ulafala my father put on my shoulders. But you made your bed, so now it's where you'll lay. Bad blood. Bloodline Rules. Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu." violent, it's personal, it's incredibly physical, and it's a chance for Fatu to assume some control that he quite clearly craves. He's been eyeing off the Ulafala, and he's even stepped ahead of Solo for this very match, and we see why. He's a beast, he's unrelenting, and very quickly he has spilled the blood of the tribal chief. Has Roman lost his edge? Has he lost that fire that he had when he was running this place? Absolutely not. Roman fires everything back at Fatu, and just like the destruction that caused them to come together, the ringside is left demolished, and they're back in the ring, and now they're trading shots back and forth. Neither man will wilt, but Roman catches Fatu with a huge shot that stumbles him back and leaves him open to be potentially choked out. Roman has it cinched in tight, and Fatu is fading fast, which of course brings out the cavalry. But Solo has sent Tongaloa and Tama Tonga towards the ring. They stop. The brothers are back together. Jimmy and Jay take down Tongaloa and Tama Tonga, and then Solo starts to walk out, but the brothers form a shield for Roman. Solo is hesitant to enter the battle, but is that because he's worried of getting dismantled, or because he doesn't want to help Fatu? Well, we might never know, but this has given Fatu a chance because Roman was keeping one eye on ringside, and Fatu powers out and he nails Roman with a super kick, and now he wants him to his feet, and he picks up Roman, trying to finish him off, but he escapes, and he flies off and drills Fatu with a monstrous spear, and he wins the match. Roman shows this rogue version of what he created, who still runs it. And it isn't lost on him the assist he got from Jay and Jimmy, and he gets them in the ring, and another piece falls into place. But interestingly, Jimmy looks at Jay and asks him if they want to throw up the one, but it's Roman who says not to. It almost feels like Roman wants to leave that kind of thing behind. But someone who isn't leaving anything behind is Solo Sikoa, who is clearly upset with how that went. And this time, he steps in front of Fatu, and he has a declaration to make. Last night, I didn't see Bloodline Rules. I saw a complete and utter disappointment. But now, I, true tribal chief, will make things right. We are gonna make things right. You see, I still wear the Ulafala, which means I'm still the tribal chief, which is why I'm declaring war. I know what this means to Roman. It was draped over his neck by his father, but it should have been me who it was draped over. Roman is here, and he's uncharacteristically emotional and explosive, and he screams at Solo. You don't tell me what anything means to me. You have no idea what that means. You have no idea of the real reason that I'm gonna take it back. You want war? You've got war. You've got war games. Roman Reigns declares that this civil war is heading for civil war games. But that isn't all. Solo ups the ante. War games it is. But let's make it interesting. Let's see just how loyal Jimmy and Jay are after everything you did to us. Whoever gets the pinfall or submission from the team wears the Ulafala. That's right. If it's you, Jay, you wear it. If it's you, Roman, you wear it. You, Jimmy, you wear it. But when I pin you, you will all acknowledge me as the true tribal chief. All I'm saying is that Ulafala means everything to the family, but it's also driven this family apart. And now it rests on a match so dangerous and so combustible that literally anyone can wear it. But not only that, we have 3 and they have 4. It's just so risky. And now you're saying he is gonna help us? He is gonna save us? Come on, Jay. But Jay interjects and says, "Wise man, you're right. That thing has driven this family apart. It's blinded us all. It's been something that has corrupted everyone that has looked at it or touched it. And Jimmy was right to stop me from trying to win it. Roman was right to take a break from wearing it after WrestleMania. The power it holds makes everyone lose their minds, Zeus. Which is why we need him. We need people we can trust. Well, I guess Paul made it pretty clear. And you know what? You said it's a family thing. That was made very clear. Listen, I'm honorary. I'm the fall guy. I'm the whipping boy. I'm the laughing stock. And frankly, it's not really a path I want to go down again. So if Paul's out, I'm out. I'm sorry. Sami Zayn rejects the offer. Yes, he has beef with this rogue bloodline, but stepping into the hell that is War Games is a whole other story. But as Sami is almost out of the room, he stopped. You mean more than you know, Sami. There is no honorary. You are one of us. You are family. Everything is on the line. The Ulafala goes to whoever gets the pin or the submission. And who will be the true, undisputed tribal chief? The war is the most brutal one yet. It's a full circle moment for Sami Zayn, who has found himself in the thick of it again. And he has to be the most selfless of everyone. He puts his body on the line for the family. Jimmy and Jay reunited for the cause to try and get the Ulafala back around the neck of their tribal chief. Or so we think. It's corrupted before, and it could very well happen again. But with this much chaos, you can find yourself stranded, and Roman Reigns does. He's cornered by Fatu and Solo, and they take their chance. Fatu nails him with a huge moonsault, and Solo then picks him up and lands the Samoan spike. It's all over. We're gonna have a new tribal chief, officially this time. Another man corrupted by the power that the Ulafala holds. Fatu won't let Solo pin Roman. He wants to do it himself, and the tension is off the scales. Solo is demanding that Fatu step down, but he's had his eyes on this the whole time. It was always his plan to take the power. But as he's staring at each other, Jey Uso flies through and wipes them both out from the top of the cage. He then quickly scurries up and he lands the Uso splash on Solo. He could pin him. He could be the new tribal chief. But he doesn't. Instead, he grabs Roman and he drags him over and he puts him on top of Solo. Jey chooses his tribal chief. It's emotional, it's moving, and all four celebrate the massive win. Roman's OG bloodline pull through for him, delivering him back the Ulafala his father placed around his neck. It means everything to Roman. However, he always said no one knew the real reason he wanted it back. Because the real reason isn't to wear it. It's to lay it to rest. Roman places it on the entrance ramp, a similar area to where it was placed on him. Roman knows that it's only caused trouble. But not only that, now it can be laid to rest with his father. And with that, Roman shows he doesn't need to be the true leader. He will always and forever be the tribal chief. Or so he thinks.